Hi, I'm Jess. I'm the owner and maker behind Knits by Jessica Jade. I'm a knitter and knitting pattern designer from New South Wales in Australia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and episode number 3. If you are new here, welcome. I have just started this channel, put together a little series of all of the knits that I've ever made and kept for myself. As I've been sorting through my craft room at the start of this year, I decided it would be the best time to do a little video and show everybody all of those things. If you missed the last 2 episodes, please go back and watch those if you're interested. This is going to be the 3rd part where I'm going to go through all of the little bits and pieces that have been floating around that were accidentally not put back into the right spot, so they were missed in the last 2 videos. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has watched my videos so far. I hope you've been enjoying them. I've found this project of filming a video for YouTube and then editing it and going back through all of the things quite a nice little creative outlet for me. I've been really enjoying it, and yeah, I hope that I can continue to do it. I feel like it's a nice little thing for me to have for myself on the side. I am a stay-at-home mum, so it's nice to have projects. I do work from home, but having something just for myself that I have like total control over is really nice. Anyway, that rambling thing that I do is happening, so let's get to it. This is a cardigan that I was experimenting with. Hello, Editing Jess here. I just wanted to jump in to say a heads up about some of the videos. The lighting goes in and out, it gets a little bit brighter and then darker, and some of the clips are a little bit blurry and out of focus. Sorry about that, I don't know what happened. They looked fine on my phone and when I checked through them all, so yeah, sorry. This is the back. So I know the brand of this yarn is Lion Brand. I know that it was pretty much improvised. The sleeves are ridiculous. This yarn is very cool though. I love the different colours. So I think this was never a finished project. It's, you know, got ends everywhere. There's bits that aren't 100% complete. So I'm going to count this as more of a whip, but I think I'm going to unravel this one, use the yarn for something else. I do love the colours at the back. Look at that orange and that green and the yellow. It is more of a yellow, not a green. But yeah, this is, I guess, almost also a whip. So there was a craze for those like mermaid blankets. So basically it's a panelled blanket with a tail on the end. It's very cute, and I was going to wear this as my like lounge blanket, which is actually very cool with a tail because it's almost like a little foot blanket area, if that makes sense. I wanted to add a whole heap of gorgeous buttons to this, shells, little diamantes that look like little sea treasures. I think I will still do that, so this is going to go into my whip pile. But basically, yeah, it's just a panelled, like a lightish teal aquary colour, then a light blue, dark blue, purple, and then in between is the same colour of the tail, which I think I've crocheted, right? Anyway, I do really like this guy. I would love to use him. I think popping all of the buttons on will be magical, really bring it to life, and it'll be the sweetest little lounge lap blanket when it's finished, so stay tuned. This is my scrappy cushion. This uses Panda Soft Cotton Chunky yarn, which is basically the scraps I had left over from the vest tops I was making for quite a while. If you scroll back through my Instagram, you'll see a lot of them there. So I just used the scraps for this and basically knitted up 2 squares, sewed them together around the edge and popped in a little cushion at the back. This pattern is mine and it was published in Homespun Knitting Beginners and Beyond issue number 4. I am unsure whether it's still available online, but there might be back copies in stores if you're lucky. I will release this pattern at some point when I have the time, like most of the other things on my list. But yeah, that's him. So he's got different colors at the front and then 3 colors at the back, and then there's just white in between each section just to make it pop. But yeah, if you are interested in the pattern and you can't find the magazine, send me an email or even just comment below and I'll work it out with you. I would be very happy to just send you the pattern for free. Yeah, this is the sweetest little teddy that I made. This was using the same yarn that I made my candy jumper from, which I'll pop a little picture here of that one. But he's very cute. So this was basically like a scrappy teddy, so just using leftover yarn, and then I used a white to stitch him up, and he's got sweet little felt eyes and then buttons glued on. I really love him. I think he's adorable and one of those things that I will definitely keep forever. I might even pop him on display on my shelves, so I can look at him more often rather than him being in a little box. I did not follow a pattern for this one. It was improvised, and I might try and replicate this and write the pattern because he is very sweet. This is an adorable chicken that I made for Easter. I used to own a little arts and crafts store and I was trying to knit and make cute little creations for occasions throughout the year, Easter, Christmas, things like that. This guy is using a super fluffy chunky yellow that I just basically knitted a piece, stuffed him and then added little felt details. He's very cute. These felt eyes are normally the way that I did my eyes for my toys. Look at these little feet on the bottom. Yeah, he's adorable. He's like a little soccer ball. He would, not safe for babies being felt, but when my boy gets a little bit older, would probably love kicking this guy around in the yard. This sweetheart is a hippo ballerina, which I knitted from a kit, which I'm 100% is Let's Knit magazine. I loved all of their patterns when I was first getting into knitting, and I really wanted to make this one. I used to be a dancer through childhood and my teenage years. I did all styles including ballet, so that's why this one kind of, I guess, spoke to me. Also, she is so beautiful, but basically this one just uses a standard 8-ply. Her shoes are just so sweet with the little bows, and her tutu, I just love her. She's probably one of the best toys that I've made personally. I just think she's, I don't know, even I feel really proud of like the knitting that I've done, and yeah, she's a pretty special one that I don't know, I just feel happy when I see her again. This was another make from a kit from, I'm sure it was Let's Knit magazine again. This one's a unicorn. She's pretty special. Her eye has unraveled a little bit, which kind of looks like an eyelash, which works, but I'll fix her up. But her hair's magical. It's just so cool. Yeah, and her tail is awesome as well, actually. I love her. She's very special as well. And yeah, I think I should put all of these on display so I can look at them more. But yeah, that's her. These are another set of kit makes, a princess and a dragon. Again, probably Let's Knit magazine. This was, I think, one of the first set of toys that I made, and I was super proud because they actually turned out very similar to what the pattern looked like, and I was amazed that I was actually able to do it. So I'm very proud of these. She's gorgeous. Her hair's got sparkle through it, and there's a bit of cardboard in the base so she can sit up. The dragon's just so cool. I love him. He's got these cool wings at the back, and he just sits up kind of on the side like that. But these were a pair, and yeah, they're, again, these last few that I've shown you are, I don't know, it's kind of like my, I guess, my turning point in knitting, because I was like, oh, it, like, I can actually do this. Like, it's not just something that I'm just doing for fun, just to see where it goes. Like, it's something that I can actually do. Like, maybe it's something that I can, like, take somewhere in the future. I don't know, one of those like moments where you're like, oh. And probably also when it dropped that I actually love knitting as well. Like, it was just, yeah, I think they're special because it was just, yeah, that turning point, I guess. These are little fish, which I made from the same book. A lot of the toys were in the last episode. It's 20 to Make knitted toys. I'll link everything again. But basically I made a red, orange, yellow, blue and purple fish, and I stuck on little googly eyes, which I think really makes them, gives them a lot of character. Sorry, they are really hard to like hold up together. These guys were on display for a little bit, and they're just one of those things, they just like make you happy. They can't not, like, they're so cute. This is an adorable headband I made just using leftover yarn, which is similar to the koala that I made, which I showed in the last episode. I'll just pop a photo up. Yeah, just use the scraps and pop the little ears on. He's very sweet. He's actually super warm, so he's great for colder weather if you didn't want to have a huge beanie on, and then I can still have my bun in. Yeah, I really like this. This is a bag that I made from a Wool and the Gang kit. It's using that t-shirt yarn. This color is amazing. I will link the kit that I used below, but basically, yeah, it's just a super chunky bag, which at the time I was very proud of as well. I haven't used this. It is quite like heavy, but it's one of those things that yeah, I want to keep, and I can put all of my other knits that I've made that I pop into my cupboard in there. So yeah, this is a teddy that I made who has been sitting on our bed for such a long time, and recently my bub pulled his eye off, which I'll have to fix. But I don't remember this pattern, but I do remember his name was Gregor, and I don't know, there was something about him. I was like, he's very sweet, and I just wanted, at the time I remember wanting to make something quickly, and I saw him and I was like, oh, he's cute. And then I just used up some of the yarn I had in my stash at the time. I think it's 3 strands of 8-ply held together. I don't know why I picked blue. I'm not really not normally a blue person, even though I seem to have made a lot of things with blue in it. And I also own like blue dresses and shirts, so maybe I am a blue person. Anyway, his tail is adorable, and I think I loved his like hips, because they're just like a bit chonky, and then I don't know, he's just really sweet. And my husband loves this guy as well, and because he's been on our bed for so long, he's become like our little bedtime friend. I don't know. But yeah, this is Gregor, and I hope I can find the pattern for this because I would like to make him a buddy. I think that would be very special. And then a comparison of the first time I tried the pattern with the second would also be very cool. I remember I did make my mum one of these, I think in like a rainbow yarn. I'll try and take a photo of it and I'll pop it here just so you can see the difference. But yeah, that's him. This is another teddy. I was just experimenting with the pattern. I think I was at the time trying to replicate this rainbow guy to try and make another one to see if I could write up the pattern. But I obviously used a different yarn, so it was going to turn out a bit differently, but I haven't weaved in the end. But basically, yeah, he doesn't have like a face. He's just like a standard teddy, which I thought would be gorgeous as like a newborn or baby gift for a baby shower. But yeah, I think I'll work on a teddy pattern because they're adorable and I feel like they're quite fun to make, softies. I don't know, they're just like make me smile, and I feel like they're, because I do love soft toys, and also for something that you're going to gift to somebody who's going to love it, I think it's like really special. This is a sweet little bath mat that I made, which is in the current issue of Homespun Knitting Beginners and Beyond, issue number 6, which is on sale now. This one is just another kind of scrappy project, just with I don't know what this yarn is normally referred to. I kind of call it like toweling yarn, if that makes sense. You can just like manipulate it to sit wherever you want. It was more for like a nice feel on your feet after you get out of the bath or shower, or to have under your sink when you brush your teeth, anything that you really want to use it for. I would recommend adding a backing so it's not slippery. But yeah, this is the basis of it. I will release this as a pattern of mine as well at some point in the future. But again, if you are interested in the pattern, please leave a comment or send me an email. Contact me through whatever's easiest for you, and I would be happy to send you through the pattern for now. These are also in Homespun Knitting Beginners and Beyond issue number 6, which is currently on sale. These are cute cows that are just 2-color and joined in the middle. These use Wool and the Gang's Al Pacino Merino. This is cornflower blue and chalk yellow, and this one is lime sorbet and bubblegum pink, I'm pretty sure. So basically I just wanted to design a quick little knit if you need a little neck warmer, basically, and the colors are bright and fun, so I feel like it's a super fun and quick make, and you can choose any colors or just use a solid color. So yeah, again, if you're interested in the pattern, contact me, and yeah, I'll see what I can do. Another thing that I have just in my craft room are these roses that I knit up. These were stocked in my shop at the time, which I would release Valentine's Day. But basically I've just knitted a piece at the top, just a rectangle in stocking stitch so it curled up, and then I've wrapped green yarn around a skewer, and then I've glued the top together just in the shape and like to form a rose. So I've just like manipulated the rectangle. I think they're very sweet, and the whole idea was gifting a rose that will last forever. But I actually love them a lot. I think my mum crocheted this pot cover, which I had sitting in my shop like this. I might sell them again at some point, but for now they're sitting in my craft room and they actually look quite nice on my shelf. So that's my Valentine's Day roses. So this is Binky. the Knitted Bunny, who is a giant softie. She's super squishy and just gorgeous. I used to have two pet rabbits, Harry and Harriet. Harriet passed quite soon after we got her, and Harry unfortunately passed away quite recently, but at the time they were the inspiration for this make. I used a chunky yarn from, I think it was from the Reject Shop. I saw the colors together and I was like, that's like screaming Easter to me. And I don't know, she kind of just like came about from there. She's got an adorable tail, and basically the body and head are so knitted separately, stuffed, and then all of the little additions are added on. I love her bow, which is also stuffed to make it super chunky. She sits very proudly on the top of my shelf in my craft room. I, as I've mentioned before, love softies and especially giant oversized ones. So I would like to make some more, but this is my pattern available on Ravelry. I'm currently working on my website, so that's down at the moment, but everything will be on my Ravelry, all of my knitting patterns. And yeah, I hope that you love her as much as I do. This is Octavius, the knitted octopus. He also uses a big chunky yarn from, I think it was from the Reject Shop. Circle, knitted up and stuffed, and then these tentacles are done individually and then sewn on. I think they're just a cable that I've done so they look a bit twisted, like they've got a bit of movement into them. And again, my felt eyes, he is just so cool. I loved this guy so much when I made him, still do. He also sits proudly next to Binky on the top of my shelf. I see them every time I walk into my craft room and I am super proud of them. I feel like they don't get enough love. They're not as popular as some of the other patterns that I've sold, but I feel as though being such a small designer, it's hard to, I guess, judge what people like and what they don't because it's such a small amount of sales, I guess. But yeah, he's just the best. I would like to make him a buddy and make him again because I love chunky knits and he was super quick to make and like as if you wouldn't want another giant octopus. So that's him. This is a giant dino that I made, which is not even going to fit into the frame. I was on a roll with my toys and this hot pink yarn I loved, and I don't know why I was like, yeah, a dinosaur at the time. But it's a Paintbox Simply Chunky is the yarn that I used in their hot pink colorway. I don't know what's actually in here. I think it's paper towel holder or some kind of cardboard, what's it called, cylinder. There's also the same in the legs to hold him upright and a huge tube in his neck to hold it up, although because it's so heavy he kind of just like falls about, so he's kind of leaning up on my wall. This was a total experiment. I just tried to knit into the shape that I needed, stuffed it, and then put him together. So he's just another giant softie that lives in my craft room. I am not a huge dinosaur lover, so I don't know why I went to dinosaur, but he's very quirky and very much, I guess, my knitting style. I'd love to do more of these softies. I feel like it's very true to me and what I love. But recently I've been more into making garments, so I've been focusing on that, not so much toys. I mean, I just need more time, as most people and most knitters do. You just need an infinite amount of time and like an extra day in every day of the week. These are some of the best tops that I made, which I still have. I was going to sell them and then life just got, in the way. So these will be available at some point, but I'll just quickly go through and show you all of the ones that I still have. I also have these scarves that I made. I made them specifically for sale, but they're very cool, very fluffy. They use I'm not going to remember the yarn off the top of my head, but it was that 70s yarn, I think. But basically I just made oversized scarves and then a shorter version as well. So there's this colorway, this colorway, this colorway, which actually matches my dress perfectly. And then there's this color, which is the shorter version. There's an end that's come out. So you can, yeah, just a shorter version of those. These are also chunky cowls that I've made that I had as part of my little sale tub. Things that I have made multiples of that were in my shop that didn't sell, or things that I made specifically for sale. Have this little tub. It's full, so I'm trying not to make any more, but I would love to do markets again one day, and I'm holding on to these for that. But this guy is so warm, super cozy, and it's a beautiful peachy pink color. And yeah, this was one of the first cowls that I made, and I think I might do a pattern because he's actually really nice. This is basically just one long rectangle sewn together at the front, but yeah, he was improvised, but that's him. This is a beanie that I made for my husband, which he wears all the time in winter. It's using a hand-dyed yarn from Rosy Cheeks. I will link her in the description with this beanie. The colorway is a beautiful yellow, mustardy kind of color. This is just a standard black chunky beanie that I had in my shop, which didn't sell, that my husband wanted. So he can have now 2 beanie options for this season, even though he has quite a few others that I've made him. But yeah, just a standard black chunky beanie. This is a chunky pink beanie that I also knit for my shop, which is basically the exact same design as the yellow one. This is a hand-dyed yarn from BJ's Hand-Dyed Yarns. This one didn't sell, which I'm kind of happy about because I kind of wanted it for me. But I think I'm actually going to keep it for my boy because his color is pink. It looks so great on him. And I've also made another of the exact same yellow beanies. So these 2 I'm going to keep and gift him when he's a little bit older. They actually do fit him now if I turn the bottom cuff up and look adorable. So he could probably get some wear out of them now as well. But yeah, that's those 2, which are the same designs in a chunky knit. This is one of the first beanies I made, which just used a pretty rainbow yarn that I liked at the time. It's got a cool little pom-pom on the top, and it has a little ribbed section, but I think it's actually got a stitch, which I then just wanted to turn up. He's super comfortable and I think looks very sweet, and I do love the colours, so I've kept him and do try to wear him in winter because I have so many beanies, it's hard to get through them all. But yeah, he's one in my little beanie stash pile. This is another little beanie that I love. It's like a little jester hat. I was very proud of this. It was first using a different stitch rather than garter or stocking stitch. So I was very proud of myself. I don't know what it is now. I think it's a bobble stitch, but I will link the pattern that I used in the description. I just wanted a standard white colour for, I guess, my beanie stash, being a colour lover. I wear a lot of colour, so I thought maybe 2 contrast with a white beanie. It'll match a lot of things, and yeah, I think it looks quite nice. It's very warm and cozy, and I really like this one. This is a beanie that I made as part of a family set. It uses Wool and the Gang Al Pacino Merino in bubblegum pink, and then my husband's is using the lime sorbet, and my Bub's was using the, I think it's mint, this colour. I'm not 100%, I will double check, but basically I love these three colours together. The set looks so amazing on. I'll pop a little photo here of us all wearing it. Unfortunately, Bob's grown out of this little beanie now, so I do have to start making him some more, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, I love this set. It's going to be one of those things I treasure forever because it was the first beanie that I made for him, and I could just make him another in the same colour, and as he grows, so he can like continue his set with us, which would be very sweet. But I do have a lot of that yarn in my stash, so I could change his colours as he grows. I might let him pick out which colour he likes, and then yeah, I can just continuously make him a beanie to match our sets. And yeah, I think these are probably the most special beanie sets and beanies that I would have ever made because it included our boy. Yeah, it's very special. This is a beanie set that I made as a couple design. So this is a pattern that I've released, one of my designs, and basically I just used a blue and pink yarn in the same yarn color to match with your partner or significant other. The photo shoot that my husband and I did for this pattern is the best thing ever. We were really not trying to be models, but they kind of turned out that way, and looking back, they're quite hilarious, but also very sweet because we were so young as well. So it's nice that I've got photos of us wearing them at the time, which are included in the pattern. I will just show you my husband's one. The blue is quite nice as well. It was a denim-ish kind of colorway. I hope the pattern includes the yarn because I have no idea what I used. I'm going to do a quick walk around to see if there's anything that I've missed that's just chilling out somewhere else in the house. Not that you would mind, but I am going to be annoyed at myself if I've missed something and it wasn't included in the series because that's just who I am as a person. So I'm going to do that. So I'll be back in a second. This is a small version of my Octavius the Octopus, which I found in my Bub's nursery. He's an adorable little baby version. These I made quite a few of and sold in my shop at the time. Some I did on my knitting machine, which turned out very cool. I'll pop a photo of what I'm talking about here. But basically this one uses Panda Soft Cotton Chunky, and I was going to do a whole collection of different colours, and I think I did do one set, but yeah, they've all sold. This was the only one left, but I'm glad I was able to keep one for my Bub. But yeah, he's very sweet. I might even design and release a smaller version of Octavius because he is adorable and I love him. I also found some washcloths that I've made for my husband, just a standard cotton 8-ply that's knitted into, which was a square, has stretched now, and then there's some that I've used a few strands of yarn for just to make them super chunky. So he's going to make his way through those. I feel quite proud and grateful for my husband because he is so supportive and loves everything that I make, and the fact that he actually uses things and wants to wear things just makes me so happy, and I really love him a lot for that. I'm currently making him a jumper, which I'm very excited to finish because I know he is going to love it and probably wear it all the time when the season comes. So that's kind of inspired a new idea to do a video of all of my current whips, which there's quite a few of, which I have forgotten about most of them. I do actually have a basket of other knits that I want to unravel, but because they're not really recognizable even as to what they are, I will just leave them as they are and just unravel those when I have the time, which is an oddly satisfying thing, unraveling yarn, but at the same time takes forever. So it's one of those tasks you kind of avoid. Well, I do anyway. I'm also going to do a everything I knit in 2023 video. Also all of the yarn that I've used I could talk about for an entire video, most using Woolen Works, who is my favorite Australian yarn dyer. And yeah, I'm excited to look at those because I'm very proud of most of those garments that I've made last year. I really hope that you've been enjoying my content so far. I've really enjoyed sharing everything with you, looking back on all of the things that I've made and what I've knit. I can't believe how much I actually have that I've kept, and the fact that I've also gifted, people have bought, and there's been so many other knits and things that I've made since I started is crazy. There's just so much, and I can't believe how much there actually is. Yeah, I've just really enjoyed sharing my love of knitting and yarn with you so far, and I'm very much looking forward to doing more in the future. If you like this video, please go back and watch my other episodes if you're interested. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you're making at the moment, what you liked in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!